Hey guys, welcome back to Samet Industries. Today we are in the middle of Georgia.
Where basically every mile and a half has a new cop waiting to pull you over. So
Yeah, seriously, Georgia, what the heck's up with that? There's a cop literally every 5 minutes
It's really
since
bad.
we got here. And we're going down to Macon. So we've been all the way down 75 through Atlanta, halfway to Macon now. The cops are everywhere out here.
I feel like Atlanta just keeps going. Like, we're still 4 lanes of traffic. So
yeah, once we got in Atlanta, we never left Atlanta. Anyway, we're here to pick up a car, which you'll see shortly. I always feel like I don't want to give it away, but then maybe that thumbnail gives it away.
Didn't you just pick up a car?
I don't know what order these videos come out in. So we might have just seen pick up a car. Maybe I didn't. Maybe this one will go better than the last one did, because the last one didn't really drive home, even though that was the goal. But that's real life for you. You don't always get what you want. You can't always just go cannonball run a car home. You just cross your fingers that it's going to work out. If it's a Festiva, you can. It just always works. But this last one was not a Festiva, and this one today is not a Festiva. It is another Mazda. It is convertible. It's not a Capri. We are 31 minutes out, though. So when we get there, hopefully you'll all see the basically the cheapest one of these that's rust-free on Marketplace. And that's really saying something, because these cost way too much. But we'll see.
We'll see you there. What do we got here, Will?
Well, this is it. This is NA Miata, lovingly known as Patches. So basically, this is probably the nicest, cheapest Festiva on Marketplace right now that's not completely broken or rusted nothing. So I thought it'd be a great one to start off for the channel, be able to do some Miata stuff, maybe expand some stuff in the Miata market. Right now, basically just not starting, so we're gonna try to figure out why that is. Bad starter, bad connection, battery issue, something along those lines, hopefully. If it's something that we can't fix, we'll dolly it. So dolly as a backup, but I figured we'll just give it a try, see what we can do. The ignition's off right now, because they were trying to see if it had ignition switch issues. So, turn those off. Try that. Beginner's luck?
Maybe. I don't know what he did. What'd you do?
I don't know. Beginner's luck?
Tyler just has a way with cars. It's kind of like cats. Cats just love him. Like, he'll have the most feral cat and it'll come to him. Like, that's... What are you looking for?
The exhaust leak.
Trying to see where it's leaking?
Yeah, I can smell it. I mean, oh, it looks good though. I was looking at the oil. Oil looks great. I was gonna see if I could see the. While I was down there, I could smell the exhaust. I was gonna see if there's an obvious leak or not, but it looks fine. Radiator looks new. Man, it looks pretty ready. I can see some dampening adjustment on the coilovers it has. She said she wasn't sure what kind it was on it. I think they bought it that way. So something to look at later, maybe.
Any ideas why it wasn't starting before?
No, actually. Besides maybe a slightly iffy ground. It's got a new ground cable on it, but it's kind of like a really thin spot, so I don't know if there's a better spot to put it on the ground. I'm not super familiar with where the Miata factory runs the ground cable for batteries since it's a trunk mount. Right now, it's on this little tiny post up. It's just on this little tiny post up here right now. I mean, that is frame connected. It's just, I don't know if that's where it's meant to be or not.
You still looking for that exhaust leak?
No, just checking it out. I mean, it looks really low rust from what I can see. This looks like one of the power plant frame bolts is loose. I can see the bolt kind of hanging some. So I think we should definitely get it lifted up at some point and just check it on the bottom side. But it sounds okay. I mean, I'm definitely going to try driving it.
Sure.
It seems to have a good bit of rear camber. I don't know if it's been aligned or not, but you can probably see just on the camera how much rear camber it has. The aftermarket battery terminal looks like it's bad. It might have something to do with it. Just now I tried to move the battery back to where it goes, and the positive cable completely came out of the terminal. It's running on just alternator right now.
Oh,
this
shoot.
is not even.
Oh, wow.
So I have a feeling that was a lot of it right there.
For sure.
So I don't want to risk turning it off, so I think we can leave it running and try to fix that real quick. Then we'll check it with a multimeter, make sure it's actually charging. Then I'll bolt it down like it's supposed to be, and we'll go from there. I'm going to try to be careful with this since it's the positive side. I really don't want to bump the frame when I'm doing this. I seem to have a penchant for braking perfectly fine cars in the middle of somebody's driveway with touching batteries, so I'm going to try to take my time.
He said there's something else underneath he wants to tighten down probably, but I don't know if that's like right now, but it looks great. I love her, she's so cute. Yeah? Aww. Sure. You should drink that water. What do you think, boy?
I think it's probably good to go. You know if the fuel gauge works?
Yeah, we're good.
It does? Okay.
Okay, so just first stop gas?
Yes. I think we're on E.
Perfect. We'll make it.
Alright, yeah, I think it's going to make it. Feels good.
If it doesn't, at least this time you have a rescue vehicle.
Well, that's why it's going to make it. Now that we have the rescue vehicle available, nothing's going to go wrong.
Exactly.
Versus the second I don't have a backup plan, terrible stuff happens. But no, I think it's going to go great.
Alright, cool. Let's see how it works.
Time to find out. Alright, here we go. I think this is my first time actually ever driving a Miata. I might have driven one like in a parking lot autocross before, but I think this is the first time driving a Miata like long term, and definitely the first time driving my Miata, or now my Miata. But here we go. There's definitely a little bit of an exhaust leak. I think it might be a little bit loud later on, but we'll see what happens. We're just pulling out now, and then we're gonna go to the gas station real quick because my fuel gauge is like on E, and we'll go from there. Actually, the camera's shaking a lot, I see from these coilovers. It actually doesn't feel too bad. And honestly, the auto's got a bit more pickup than I expected. It really does have like a pretty good click into the shift. I am gonna bake in the sunlight though, that is for sure. I think the top works, just has a big tear in it. If I remember correctly, the back corner's got a big tear. I might see if it's better with up or down. I'm liking the breeze though, not a bad breeze. I've always said I'm not a big convertible fan, but this is all right. It's also got a flashing airbag light, which is a little funny because the last car I bought had a flashing airbag light. Both this and the Capri have an airbag issue. The Capri, due to the very common airbag module failure. This, I'm sure, is because it has an aftermarket steering wheel, and therefore the car is looking for an airbag that does not exist. But, I mean, right now I'm doing 55. We're cruising along just fine. So I guess I'll call this portion here, switch on over to the GoPro, and we'll see y'all at the gas station. hopefully the microphone's picking me up and not all the wind noise. But about an hour in now, I've been just cruising along about 80. I stopped earlier to get my hat because the sun is absolutely scorching out here today. And then that's about it. Put on some sunscreen, put on a hat, been cruising, doing 80 for an hour. And just now it had a weird little hiccup where it almost looked like it was gonna die, but it didn't die. So we've dropped it down to 60. It's feeling fine so far. So there's got some traffic up ahead, so now I'm down to 50. So hopefully that one little hiccup was it, and it's gonna be chill now, but we'll see. It's had a check engine light since I got in. I haven't had the chance to check it and see what it wants. But everything else looks fine. We got gas. Temp gauge looks good. Radio works, so I've just been kind of jamming. Brought my Bluetooth adapter with me. So hopefully this is just a quick update that says we had one issue and we're good. Otherwise, I guess you'll see me loaded up on the dolly. We'll see. I also almost lost my GoPro. I heard a big clunk. I look up, I saw something flying past me. Thankfully, since the top's down, it fell right here and didn't go out the road, so that was good. Yeah, a lot of construction here. Hopefully it doesn't die on the road on me. That would suck. So, I just had Michelle check on the dash on the Maverick. It is 97 out right now. So, I am definitely baking. I'm begging these clouds to come back over the sun right now. Because we're going like 15 to 20 at best. Yeah, I'm cooking out here in the sun. I'm a sweaty boy, and this is not helping. And the AC in here does not work. And really, the face vents don't work at all. So even with AC on, it's not working, and it only kind of blows a little bit from the feet. There's definitely no air from the vents for the face. So maybe something I'll look into later. Oh yeah, there's some cloud coverage. Thank you. It's hot. It's very hot. If the sun gets unbearable, the top does come up. I tried that earlier. It's just full of holes. I don't know if I mentioned that. There's no back window, and it's full of holes. So it kind of holds some heat, but at the same time gives some shade, so it's kind of trade-off. We'll see. Onwards. I am back in Atlanta. So the car has cut off once more since it said it did earlier, but again, it was only for like 10 or 15 seconds, caught back up to itself. I'm thinking fuel related. It feels fuel related. Could be losing spark, but just from the way it sounds, the way it feels, I'm gonna guess fuel. It's been sitting for a few months, and it was like on E on the tank, so the chance that when I filled it up, some of that old gas is getting caught up every now and again, or some old sediment. So I think I might check the tank if it's easy to get to. I'm actually not sure how hard it is to reach on Miatas. I think it's right behind me, but I'll have to check on that. But I'm in the middle of Atlanta. You can probably tell from the background here, I'm only doing about 20, following Michelle up in front of me. And the sun's back out in full force. So I put the top up. So here's an idea of how the top looks. You can see behind me, I can stick my whole arm right out this window because it's just missing. There's a big hole here, and a big hole here. The cables are all like, so there's a cable that holds it up. There's the other cable that's supposed to be holding it up. There's another one. They're just all broken and dangling over here, so it's gonna need a top. I'm not sure how I'm gonna store it at home. I'm just gonna tape over that back window and try to tape up the cracks. I believe the side, actually I haven't even tried the side windows yet. Let's just try that real quick. They're crank windows. Oh, that one works. No idea about the passenger side. I can't really reach it from here while I'm driving, but hopefully I can find some way to make it waterproof, or maybe we will try that 3D printed top that somebody posted the other day, where you print it in sections and glue it together. I think it'd be a fun project to do for the channel. I've been reading up on Miata pages, in anticipation for this event. I saw some people looking for the Cool Breeze scoop, so a little air scoop that goes right over the windshield to bring in fresh air from over the top of the car. Apparently the OG one is the only one that works, and all the 3D printed copies suck. And I'm wondering why. What makes the real one so much better than the copies? And if I can figure that out, oh, somebody's mad. If I can figure that out, I would love to be able to 3D print a version of it that actually works for people and sell that. I was also thinking some other ideas with like maybe using those old rear spoilers you'd see on like Blazers and Troopers and stuff with one big flat panel. If I get a big flat panel on some adjusters, so that it could be basically like a kick-up spoiler, and then you turn it and it makes a big whole vent right across where the sun visors clip into, that might be something cool to do. But yeah, already from driving this, I've got a few ideas that I want to look into, so that's great. That's the whole goal really, is to get a Miata, get a feel for what it's all about, see what kind of things the community needs, and then fulfill those needs. So I will continue trying to roll through Atlanta without killing anything myself, and catch you guys on the other side. Still trucking along, still fighting some traffic. It's actually been pretty good, with, like, considering we're going through Atlanta, which is busy as crap. The traffic right now just hit again, just kind of randomly out of nowhere. But gives me a good chance to slow down a bit and record again. And my newest update is that the radio keeps turning off. Like, it'll reset, but not all the way off because the clock is staying on. So it's almost acting like the key's being turned off. So the radio starts to shut off for a second, then immediately comes back on. Every time I have to turn it back to my station for the Bluetooth transmitter. So now I'm wondering if the starting issue is indeed the key switch. I don't know how well I showed it when I was back at the house, because I haven't reviewed my own footage or anything, but they were taking apart the ignition earlier to try to fix some stuff. So like right now, the ignition switch is just dangling by the wires while the tumbler is still in the column. So I was just sticking the key down in the switch to try to turn it. So now I'm wondering if maybe they were on the right track there, and that it is indeed an issue with the switch, causing it to kind of want to turn off or not fully start. That would also kind of explain it cutting off at random with the fuel thing. If the key's being turned off, that means the fuel pump would turn off, or possibly the spark. I'm not sure which positions control what on the Miata, but if it's like a Festiva, leaving the run position would cut the pump. I don't know, just a theory. Worth looking into, but not right now. Right now, I'm gonna try to avoid shutting it off at all. Just run it straight home, don't turn it off, and see what happens. As many of you know, I drive Lord Festivas, so this isn't a completely new feeling, but it is pretty crazy seeing when there's a giant lifted truck like the one coming up behind me, and it takes up literally like his bumpers with the back of my head. His headlights are above my roof by a good bit. And now that I'm in the Miata with no like hatch to protect me, it's become quite clear just how big and obnoxious stuff like that is when they're right behind you. Wild. But we are about 1.5 miles away from Buc-ee's, so I think we're gonna make our first stop at Buc-ee's, because I love Buc-ee's. I know it's busy and crazy and full of 10 billion pumps, but I just think it's so fun. You know, there's a real homeliness to a Buc-ee's, because they just built one like right south of Lexington down in Richmond. I stopped there all the time when I was working down there, so it's nice to go to a Buc-ee's. So yeah, Buc-ee's bound. Let's go. All right, I know it's crazy, but I'm gonna try turning it off. And I'll give it a chance to cool off, let it chill for a second. You know, worst case scenario, I gotta tow it, but I mean, I consider this pretty successful. Even if it does not start right now, I would consider this trip a high-key success, because it's been making it so far. Very tiny, insignificant issues. It is like, you know, 98 degrees now, and we are at a good place to rescue myself with the dolly. So here goes nothing. Actually, I'll try to get it with the other camera here so you guys can see what I'm dealing with. You can see each other here. Just gonna take this down here. You can see where they've already started taking the column off, and there's one screw still holding it in, so it's just kind of dangling. But there's where the key should be, and there is the ignition switch. So I'm just gonna put the key in that real quick. Try to hold my foot here, and we're gonna turn it off. Here goes nothing. All right, it's off. It's in park. Real quick, I'll see if it restarts right now. Key on, battery's on. Hey, it started again. Oh, a little unhappy, but it did. All right, I'll turn it back off now and leave it off for a minute. We'll see what happens. Good, because I am baking. You can see on the camera, I'm sure, just how doggone moist I am. It's those Samet sweat jeans, man. I am a cursed boy. All right, so my co-driver in the truck has suddenly fallen a bit ill, so we decided to go ahead and tow it. And as I was loading it onto the dolly, the mother of all storms just broke. Talking major thunder and lightning. You can probably see right now that the back is getting soaked, just like absolutely. I can't see crap out of these glasses at all. All the water has flown, or not flown, dripped into my shirt and pants from this waterproof jacket as I was trying to load it up the dolly. Yeah, this thing's gonna be a soaking wet mess. I don't have time to disconnect the drive shaft or get under the car safely right now, so instead I'm just gonna leave it idling in neutral on the dolly so that the back wheels and trans can spin and not break anything, hopefully, since this thing's automatic. So I'm in neutral, e-brake's off, I got the camera going. I'm gonna try to transfer all my stuff out of here that's electronic before it gets soaked, and I will see you guys in the Maverick. Eek. All right, due to the inclement weather and my partner in crime getting a little ill, I think we're going to just keep dollying it. It did okay so far. I mean, that was a torrential downpour. I was doing like 55 best towing. We hit like a huge puddle on the way to the exit and almost killed the truck. So like it was bad. But you guys can see it's kind of easing up now. So got it on the dolly, since it's auto. I just have it in neutral with the engine running. So hopefully that'll keep it smooth. Got the blinkers on, not that one. Hey, that one's on. So that should help. Got the wipers going and got the defrost going. So hopefully it's enough. I'm gonna go ahead and air the dolly tires back up to where they were. They had them aired down for comfort. And then we'll just go ahead and drive back to the Maverick. See how it does. If it starts to get nice out again and kind of dry, I might hop back in the Miata. Just because A, I want to drive it home. It'd be a cool thing for the channel. And B, with how wet it is, I just wasn't sure how good tires would do out here. So, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll go through this right now.
All right, looking much better now. Well, maybe not over there. Ah, yes, look at that. Cleared up quite a bit. It was like, I don't know, 35 minutes of just terrible driving, but cleared up a good bit. Look at this. Miata gang. Gang, gang. I have no idea whose Miata that is. If you see this and that's your Miata, say hi. I went ahead and turned off the wipers, and I turned off the hazards since we're now in drier weather. I had the GoPro recording through the windshield, so hopefully I got some good footage from all that. I'm gonna go ahead and try to check the automatic transmission fluid, just to make sure it's not getting all milky or frothy from being ran in tow dolly mode. Like I said earlier, I put it in neutral, and I let the engine run. That way the pump for the transmission spinning up and the transmission coolers, you know, stays active, but that's not always enough necessarily. I haven't flat towed an automatic Miata before, so I really don't know. I have done this for 45 minutes with a Festiva on 3 cylinders, and it turned out okay. But, you know, obviously not the same one-to-one here, so I'm just gonna give it a quick peek, see how it looks. Well, it looks brown. I don't know if the camera is gonna let it focus that close, but yep, there we go. You can see that's basically brown. It's really not red ATF. I assume these spec ATF, but I don't know. It doesn't smell terribly burnt though. It smells a little bit, it smells like old transmission fluid, so I don't see a bunch of froth in there though. I don't see a bunch of flecks. I'm gonna say it's doing all right. I'll probably keep flat towing it for another 2-ish hours, and then if my co-driver's feeling up to it, I'll have them switch back, and then I will make sure I drive it the rest of the way, because I really want to drive it in the driveway. So we'll see what we can do. All right, my co-driver and her companion over here have made a miraculous recovery right during the sunset here in the mountains down in Tennessee. So we're gonna go ahead and switch back.
Puppy. That's a good boy.
Maverick, what are you doing, big dog? Yeah.
Miata times.
Are these Miata times?
Yeah, look at her. She's so cute. It's so cute.
All right, back on the road. This time I got GoPro footage from the truck. Hopefully the GoPro does not fall off the road. We'll see. Here we are, 10:45, and I am back in Lexington. Let's go. So excited for this. Hey, look, there's my wife. We've done it. We made it. Hello, Maverick. Look out, big dog. Look out, big dog. The seatbelt loves getting stuck. And there we are. We have made it all the way back home. Pardon me, I'm gonna have to find the door handle. I'm not used to Miata. Good dog. Look, there we are. We made it. Samet Industries HQ among the Festivas. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. See ya!
Ready? Okay, calm down. Calm down. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, that one was a little rough. Going left. Woo!
The tires are just hitting all the fenders and stopping us from doing anything smoothly at all.
That was cool.
All right, time to leave.
Time to leave.
That
We
way.
were never here.